In the previous lecture, we have discussed to find the expression for Lagrangian and Hamiltonian of a charged particle in an electromagnetic field. But when the motion of the particle was non-relativistic, that is, the particle was moving in the electromagnetic field with a speed which is much smaller than speed of light. So in that case, we do not take into account the mass variation of the particle. But now we are going to find the same thing, that is the expression for Lagrangian and Hamiltonian of a charged particle in an electromagnetic field. But now we will consider the relativistic motion of the particle. It means if the charged particle is in relativistic motion, then what will be the expression for Lagrangian and Hamiltonian of the particle? So you can say that our aim is to find the relativistic Lagrangian and Hamiltonian of a charged particle in an electromagnetic field. But for your convenience, I am just repeating the final results which we have obtained in the previous lecture. In fact, we have seen in the first lecture on this topic that the expression for Lagrangian L of the particle moving in electromagnetic field was obtained like this. L equal to half mv square minus q phi minus v dot a. As you know, here L is Lagrangian of the system, or you can say the particle, and m is its mass. Since motion is non-relativistic in this case, so never think that this is mass in motion or mass at rest, because in this case there is no difference between the rest mass and mass in motion. And q is charge of the particle, and you know this phi is actually the scalar potential, and this vector A is known as magnetic vector potential. You know it. So this result we have actually obtained in the previous lecture. And we have also seen what is the expression for the Hamiltonian of the same particle. As you have seen this result earlier, that H is equal to 1 over 2m p minus qa whole square plus q phi. This is actually the expression for Hamiltonian of the charged particle moving in the electromagnetic field. You can see actually the expression for L and H both are in terms of the electromagnetic potentials, that is the electromagnetic scalar potential phi and the vector potential A. At the same time, we have also obtained the expression for potential energy of the particle in electromagnetic field. Actually, if you consider an electrostatic field, then you know the potential energy of particle is simply equal to q phi. But if the field is not electrostatic but electromagnetic, then the potential energy of particle is equal to q phi minus q v dot a. So these are actually the important results which we have obtained in the first lecture on this subject. Now, as I have told you earlier, that in present lecture our aim is to find the relativistic Lagrangian and Hamiltonian. It means now we will consider that there is a charged particle of charge q, and it is moving in an electromagnetic field, but its motion is relativistic, not non-relativistic. When you say motion is relativistic, it means velocity of the particle is not much smaller than c, but it is comparable to c, or you can say that v is tending towards c. So first of all, we consider a single particle, and we also consider that only conservative forces act on this single particle. So in this condition, you know how the Lagrangian is defined for the particle. The basic definition of Lagrangian you know is T minus B, where T is kinetic energy of the particle and B is potential energy. Now, if we consider that the particle is in relativistic motion, then you know you have already studied in special relativity that the relativistic expression for kinetic energy T is what? This is c square times m minus m naught. You know it. This is the relativistic expression for kinetic energy. In fact, mc square represents the total energy and m naught c square represents the rest mass energy, and the total energy minus rest mass energy, that is actually the measure of kinetic energy. So T is equal to c square times m minus m naught. Here m is mass of the particle when it moves with velocity v. And you know from the formula of mass variation that this m is equal to m naught over root over 1 minus v square by c square. Now let us take this minus m naught as a common factor. So when you will take minus m naught as a common factor, then L will be minus m naught c square times 1 minus 1 over 1 minus b square by c square's root and minus b. Now let us take this factor 1 minus b square by c square's square root, which is in denominator. Let us take it in numerator. Then this will be like this: 1 minus b square by c square whole to the power minus half. Now you can write this expression 1 minus b square by c square to the power minus half as it equal to, almost equal to, root over 1 minus b square by c square, doing the binomial expansion a lot of algebra. In fact, the validity of this equation 1, you can check it. I will try to check this result in the last of the lecture, and or it may be just a homework for you. You can do the algebra. So remember, the Lagrangian for a particle moving with relativistic motion is given like this: L equal to minus m naught c square times root over 1 minus v square by c square minus v. Now actually the expression for this Lagrangian L will depend on the value of this potential energy v, and the value of potential energy depends that our particle is moving in which field. Now our present concern is that our particle is moving in an electromagnetic field. So if you want to find the relativistic expression for Lagrangian of our particle, you must use the expression for relativistic potential energy, or you can say the relativistic expression for potential energy. So I have mentioned it, this result here. You can see this is actually the expression for potential energy of a particle when it is in an electromagnetic field, whose scalar potential is phi and magnetic vector potential is A. So if you will substitute that expression for V in this equation, then this L will be actually the Lagrangian of the particle in an electromagnetic field. So now in an electromagnetic field, you can see the expression for V is what? This is q phi minus this much. You can see this is q phi minus q times V dot A. V dot A. So, the relativistic Lagrangian of a particle moving in an electromagnetic field will be what? For this, we will substitute this value of V here, and then you will get the expression for Lagrangian of a particle moving relativistically in an electromagnetic field. So therefore you can say the relativistic Lagrangian L, this is relativistic Lagrangian. This will be what? This is minus m naught c square times root over 1 minus v square by c square and minus v. And instead of v, we will write this much. So this is minus q phi and plus q v dot a. And actually this is the expression for relativistic Lagrangian of a particle in an electromagnetic field. Let us say this is your equation A. Equation A. Now we have obtained the relativistic Lagrangian for the particle. Now our aim is to find the relativistic Hamiltonian for the same particle. And for that, first of all, we will obtain the expression for momentum of the particle when it moves in an electromagnetic field. Actually, in the previous lecture, we have also seen this expression, but I am again repeating the same result, but after some derivation. You can see the generalized momentum, you know, the generalized momentum, or you may also say that the generalized kth component of momentum. Generalized momentum is given by, you know how the generalized momentum pk is defined. This is simply the partial derivative of Lagrangian with respect to the generalized velocity del L by del qk dot. Here qk dot, you know, this is generalized velocity, and the partial derivative of Lagrangian with respect to the generalized velocity is actually generalized momentum. So this pk represents the kth component of generalized momentum. Or you may equivalently write it del L by del V. Instead of qk dot, we have written here V, which represents actually the velocity. Now, because why I have replaced it? Because you can see in the expression of L, we have used the symbol V for velocity, and so that I have changed the term qk dot by V. Now, let us substitute the value of L, which you have just obtained in this equation A, and then find the value of pk, or you can say P. Or when you write del V, then we will write it P, not pk. So P is equal to del V and L. And what is the expression for L? You can see it here. In this equation, we have actually obtained this expression for L. So let us put this. L is what? This is minus m naught c square times 1 minus v square by c square minus q phi and plus q v dot a, or you may also now write it q times va, q times va. You may write it. Now let us differentiate. When we will operate this operator del del v in this first term, you can see what will be the differential coefficient. Here minus m naught c square is a constant factor, and root over 1 minus b square by c square will be differentiated with respect to this v. So this will be in fact 1 over 2 1 minus v square by c square and 1 by 2 minus 1. And now we will differentiate 1 minus v square by c square with respect to v. Since 1 is constant, so this will be 0, and that of this v square, this will be 2v, and so this is 2v by c square. Now when you will operate this operator del del v on this second term, you can see in fact neither q nor phi is a function of v, so the dc of q phi with respect to v will be 0. Now operate this operator on this last term. Here v will be differentiated and q and a are constant, so del v by del v will be 1, and so this last term is simply qa, simply qa. And now let us simplify this result to some extent. You can see it here. This result will be what? This is this minus and this minus will now become plus. So this is m naught c square into v. You can see in fact this 2 and this 2 will cancel out. M naught c square into v and divided by c square times 1 minus v square by c square to the power half, because this will be minus half. Now this c square and c square will also cancel out, and plus qa. Now see, what is our result? This is actually equal to m naught v over 1 minus v square over c square to the power half and plus qa. But as you know from the relativistic mass variation formula that this m naught over 1 minus v square by c square square root, this is the mass in motion m. So you can write this expression as P equal to mv plus qa, mv plus qa. And let us say this is your equation number 2. In fact, if we want to write this equation 2 in vector form, how you can write? So you can see in vector notation, this vector p will be equal to mv plus q vector a. And this is also equation 2. This is not another equation. As I have told you, this m is what? This m is m naught by 1 minus v square by c square a square root. So we have obtained the expression for momentum of the particle, and now from the general definition of Hamiltonian of the particle, you can find the expression for it, for this particle. You can see. Now, what is the general definition of Hamiltonian? Hamiltonian H, you know, this is defined as summation over k pk qk dot, pk qk dot minus L. And this term summation over k pk qk dot, you can see this may be written as P dot V. P dot V. And so this is P dot V minus L. Now see this equation. Equation number 2. P is equal to this much. So let us substitute MV plus QA instead of this P. So this P is MV plus QA and dot V and minus L. Now you can see we have obtained already the expression for L, that is the relativistic Lagrangian in this equation A. So let us substitute the value of L which you have obtained in this equation A in that equation. So you can see this expression. When you will put this value, since there is minus L, so this minus all the minus term will become plus and that positive term will become negative. So see this equation seriously, and I am just now writing this expression here. So this will be equal to what? This is plus m naught c square root over 1 minus v square by c square, and plus q phi, since there was minus q phi, and minus q times v dot a. I hope you are understanding the steps. Now see, let us simplify this first term. This is in fact mv dot v and plus q v dot a. Don't confuse that there should be a dot b, because you know the scalar product of two vectors is commutative. So a dot v and v dot a are same thing. So I have written here v dot a and plus m naught c square times root over 1 minus v square by c square, v square by c square, plus q phi and minus q times v dot a, q times v dot a. Now you can see this q times v dot a will cancel out, and the remaining term will be what? This is in fact mv square, but you know this m can be written as m naught by 1 minus v square by c square's square root. This is actually the relativistic mass variation formula. And this v dot v, what will be this? You can easily say this is v square and plus m naught c square times root over 1 minus v square by c square plus q phi, plus q phi. Now let us simplify this result to some extent. For that, let us associate the first two terms. You can see it here that 1 minus v square over c square, this will be the LCM, and here will be m naught v square plus m naught c square times 1 minus v square over c square and plus q phi. Actually I have took this q phi separate. Now simplify this expression. You can see when we will multiply by this m naught c square to these terms, the first term will be m naught c square and second will be minus m naught v square, because c square and c square will cancel out. But that minus m naught v square will cancel by this term m naught v square. So you can see in numerator, finally we will have m naught c square. So what is the expression for Hamiltonian? You can see this h will be equal to m naught c square over 1 minus v square by c square's square root plus q phi plus q phi. Actually, this term m naught c square over 1 minus v square by c square's square root, this is actually, you can say, the effective kinetic energy or the energy of the particle in this electromagnetic field when it is in relativistic motion. Now actually we have to find the expression for this term, and let us say symbolically that this h is equal to T star. I denote this energy term by the symbol T star plus q phi plus q phi. And what will be the equation number? You can see this is 3. Now our aim is actually to find this T star in a particular fashion. You can see now this T star square. What will be this? Since T star is m naught c square over this much, so T star square, this will be m naught square c4 over 1 minus v square by c square. Now here I am going to use a simple algebra to express this result in a particular manner. This is m naught square c square over 1 minus v square by c square, and since you have taken c square, so the remaining factor is c square, but here I am writing v square plus c square minus v square. Since this v square will cancel out, so the result remains same. Now you can write this in this manner: m naught c square over 1 minus v square by c square and times v square plus. Now take this c square as a common factor in the remaining two terms. So when you will take c square as a common factor, your result will be 1 minus v square over c square. You can see v square over c square. Now let us multiply by this factor to the terms inside the bracket. You can see when we will multiply the outside term to the first term inside the bracket v square, what will be your result? You can see this is m naught c square into v square over 1 minus v square by c square. 1 minus v square by c square. Sorry, here there is not m naught, but this is m naught square. M naught square. See here. And plus, when you will multiply by this outside factor to this term, see, this 1 minus v square by c square will cancel out. And the remaining term is c square. So this will be simply m naught square c4. M naught square c4. Now as we know that the effective mass m is equal to m naught over 1 minus v square by c square square root. So what will be this m square? When you will take m square, here will be m naught square, and in the denominator there will be not this square root. Then there will be simply what? That will be simply 1 minus v square over c square. So you can see here, in the first term you can see there is m naught square by 1 minus b square c square, and so you can write m square instead of that. So see what will be this expression. This will be simply m square c square b square plus m naught square c4. So let us write it. So this t star square, this is equal to m square b square c square plus m naught square c4. m naught square c4. And say this is your equation number 4. Now see, we have seen earlier the expression for momentum, perhaps in equation number 2. See here, yes, in equation 2. P is equal to mv plus qa. Since in our present expression, final expression, we have seen there is a term m square v square. So let us find the value of this mv from this equation 2. From equation 2, you can see. From equation 2, what is this mv? You can see mv will be p minus qa. Now use this value of mv here. Since here there is m square v square, so what will be your t star square? You can see t star square will be equal to p minus qa whole square times c square plus m naught square c4. m naught square c4. And therefore t star equal to, this will be simply the square root of p minus qa whole square times c square plus m naught square c4. This is, say, equation number 5. Equation 5. Now we have obtained the value of this t star in this equation 5, and you can see our expression for Hamiltonian of the particle is this much. This is t star plus q pi. So when you will substitute the value of t star in this equation 3, then you will get the relativistic Hamiltonian, or you can say the expression for relativistic Hamiltonian. So from equation 3 and 5, the expression for relativistic Hamiltonian H is t star plus q phi. You can see the expression. This is t star plus q phi, and t star is this much. So what will be this? This will be a square root of p minus qa whole square times c square plus m naught square c4 and plus q pi. And actually this is the relativistic expression for Hamiltonian, or you can say this is actually the relativistic Hamiltonian of our particle in an electromagnetic field. So you can again see this expression for relativistic Hamiltonian, that in this case actually the relativistic Hamiltonian depends on the magnetic vector potential A and the scalar potential, electromagnetic scalar potential phi 2, but this expression is different from the expression for H in case of a non-relativistic motion, because you can see it here. In non-relativistic motion, H was like this. So the relativistic expression is entirely different from the classical, or you can say the non-relativistic expression for Hamiltonian in an electromagnetic field. So this is the required Hamiltonian of the charged particle in an electromagnetic field. And now after these two lectures, I hope you have understand how we can obtain the expression for Lagrangian and Hamiltonian of a charged particle moving in an electromagnetic field when the motion of the particle is either relativistic or non-relativistic. In these two lectures we have discussed all these things, and so I hope you have understand the derivation. So try to understand and write it down in your own language.